Well, ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought the Democrats of Oregon couldn't get more ridiculous, look no further than what took place on the House floor today in Salem as Drag Queen Story Hour was brought to the House floor for the entire nation now to see. This has gone super mega viral. Shout out to Coco Clarified on X, also known as Colette. She works in the Capitol, and she's the one that first exposed this video. And we're going to get into it. We're going to talk to a couple state reps, both Republican and Democrat. Representative Alec Scarados is going to join us here in just a few seconds. And Representative Travis Nelson, Democrat, is going to try to defend this. I don't know how you can defend this with everything going on in the state and the state going to shambles and everything going downhill. Before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and follow me at David Medina PDX across all social media. Here is that clip. Coco Clarified, go give her a follow on X. Exposed this thing and posted it. And I mean, I said it exactly how we're all thinking of it, which is a circus drag show is happening on the floor of the Oregon House of Representatives. Here's my thing. Drag has been around for, and a lot of you don't know the history of drag. It's been around for a long time. It's been around since the ancient times. Okay. This used to be a performance thing because women were not allowed to they weren't allowed to act on stage back in the days. Women didn't have the rights like they do today. And so men would take those roles and play drag. And then it evolved over the years and since has been hijacked. In my opinion, it's been hijacked by the far left agenda to push this kind of leftist agenda on kids. And that's where I have a problem with it. And I think that's where a lot of Republicans have a problem with it. It's been sexualized. It's been kind of just used as the Trojan horse to introduce kids to the far leftist agenda. In fact, that's what many leftist circles say about drag, is that's its intention, is to get rid of gender norms and teach about the spectrums. But this is what happened. This was it. We can't play the audio, but it's just music. I don't want to play it because I don't want to receive a strike. But this was the House floor today, ladies and gentlemen. What are we doing? We have all kinds of issues here in Oregon. All kinds of issues going on in the state, and this is what the House Democrats are doing right here. And they don't, they called this whole thing that the Republicans brought these two female high school athletes to fight for fairness in women's sports a couple weeks ago, and they called that a political stunt, but this wasn't. Kind of interesting. And so we're going to talk about this because I want to get the view from both sides of Republicans in the Capitol and Democrats. So we're joined by Representative Alec Scarados. If you guys don't know his story, go look it up. It's incredible. I don't want to spoil it for you, but they made a movie out of this guy, and he just happens to be a rep here in Oregon, and we're so glad that he's in Salem fighting for us out of the Eugene area. And I'm not, what district are you in down there again?
District 4, so a little bit south of Eugene. It's kind of more of the dead space between Roseburg, Grants Pass, and Medford.
How are you enjoying being in Salem, man? Be honest.
I kind of like it. I mean, it's every day is a fight. I enjoy politics. I'm weird like that. But there's always something going on. There's always some terrible bill the Democrats are trying to pass, and we have to do our best to fight it or try to kill it off the books. And so there's always something to do. A lot of drama, if nothing else. So it's interesting.
There's a photo of a group photo that you guys took with these girls that you invited to the Capitol for after the whole state championship protesting. There was a couple girls, we did a story about it, that protested, stepped down from the podium because a biological male was allowed to race or do the high jump at the Oregon State Championships in Eugene. And it was so funny. There's a group photo, and literally you're just there and you're just like dead serious. You're like the only one not smiling. We got to get you to smile more, Alec. Like,
it's serious at the state capitol. We have zero fun. If you could see all the bad bills the Democrats are passing every day, dude, you wouldn't smile very often either.
I know, man. But you got to find a way to keep your spirits up, and it sounds like you are, man. And you guys are killing it there at the Capitol, man. You guys are really getting your message out. Talk about what that was like to fight this whole thing. I know Democrats gave you guys a lot of grief for inviting these girls to the floor. This track star from Sherwood and Tiger to the floor. I heard they were saying it was a political stunt. What else are you guys doing to help fight for fairness in sports for women in Oregon? Because this is a really big issue, and it seems like there's more and more athletes, trans athletes, that are coming out every day. And meanwhile, it's like real women are kind of missing out on opportunities like they did a couple weeks ago. Can you talk about what you guys are doing there in the Capitol and how that fight looks?
Yeah, we wanted the female athletes to be there on the day that we took that vote, so the Democrats would have to look them in the eye when they're voting on an issue that affects them directly. A lot of times we feel kind of disconnected to the things that we're voting on because we don't know anyone who is, a female track athlete that's had to compete against a biological man. Yeah. So we brought some of those people to the Capitol, and it was a great show of force, I think, for where probably 80% of the population is, probably even 70% just in the state of Oregon are with us on that issue. But the Democrats called it a political stunt. They thought it was improper to have to look the people in the eye who they're voting against. They didn't like that very much. And I just find that incredibly hypocritical in light of today's events with the drag queen opening ceremony.
Yeah, I was laughing because they talk about a political stunt, and we're showing on the screen right now what took place on the House floor today, which was a drag show performance. And we're going to get Representative Travis Nelson, Democrat in the House there, one of your colleagues, and he's going to come on here and talk about and defend that here in a little bit. But what are your thoughts on that? I know the Republicans weren't there. You guys showed up right as it ended. You talk about political stunts. I mean, how is that not a political stunt with how drag is being used in this whole anti-woman movement?
I mean, exactly. It's the definition of a political stunt. And to be fair, my main criticism isn't even that it was a drag queen opening ceremony. It was that they didn't actually perform anything. It's an opening performance for the floor session. Normally you have someone there to sing the national anthem, right, play the piano, even a dance troupe or something like that. They just lip synced and walked around, basically. It was not even a performance, and we just were not happy with it, especially after they called us bringing female track athletes on the floor a political stunt. So we just kind of protested it.
It's a political stunt when you're standing for girls, but it's not a political stunt when they bring on drag to dance in the middle of a most controversial issue. I almost felt like they did that to kind of spit in your guys' face for inviting those two girls. But you're going to have the Democrats that will tell you in the House or in the Capitol, they're going to say, well, we invite preachers and we invite all kinds of things for the opening ceremony, the opening whatever festivities. How is this? Why are you guys picking on this? What's the problem with that argument?
Well, it's the same reason why they picked on us inviting female track athletes. It's everything in the Capitol's political. None of it isn't. I mean, even down to who you invite to give a sermon as an opening ceremony is still political. I mean, it's just the name of the game. And so they absolutely knew what they were doing. Yeah. And the other thing that I really didn't like about it, to be honest, was just that they did it on the day that we were honoring Chuck Mawhinney, who is a Marine Corps sniper in Vietnam. I think he has the most confirmed kills of any Marine Corps sniper in history.
Wow.
And we were honoring him because he passed early last year, and his widow was there. And so right after this whole drag queen performance, they did a resolution to honor the drag queens, which again is improper because resolutions are supposed to be for people that died or specific people that have somehow stood out in your community. You know, if someone from your hometown gets an Olympic gold medal or something like that, it's not for blocks of people like all black drag queens or whatever it was. Yeah. It's just improper. And then very next we had the most proper honoring a dead war hero. And just the two back to back, I think just speaks to Democrat priorities when it comes to resolutions and Republican priorities.
Yeah, man. Well, just keep your head on straight because I know you like to get down and you've done a great job, man. And you're really you're making a lot of people proud because you're showing that a veteran can go in there and have a level head and actually be effective and you've been doing a great job. And I know when you see things like this where you have the drag queens coming out and kind of spitting in our face and spitting in women's face, and then to follow that, a war hero being honored, I know that hits home for you, man. And I can't say that I would have the same restraint that you would have. I would probably my next speech would be ripping the Democrats or something on the floor or whatever. I don't know. I would not be happy with that if I were you, man. So I'm sorry that happened. And what's going forward?
It's not even about the drag queens for me, though. It's just the whole thing is just so tiresome.
Yeah.
They pass all these resolutions about education, but do nothing to fix the fact that we're 48th in the country on education. Sure. We'll have things like drag queen opening ceremonies, but do nothing actually good for the state of Oregon.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Just to appease that small, tiny part of the Oregonians that actually, pay attention to that stuff. Meanwhile, the rest of us are like, fix our roads, lower taxes, make it more livable. Go play drag queen on your own. We don't care what you do with that, but like, focus on the real problems in Oregon. That's what we've been trying to do. Me and my team on the streets here in Portland is like, is anybody concerned about the real problems in Oregon, or are we just all focused on Trump and our own agenda, or do we actually care about all Oregonians? And that's the problem, man. It's just like, it's like, yes, let's all get along, but at the same time, is anybody doing anything about the real problems? So Alec, going forward, what does your political future look like? Are you planning something after after being here as a state rep? Are you planning anything going forward? And what's the plan in 26? And how do we win? How do besides us all coming together, how do we like turn the state around? At least just chip away at it in 26.
I don't have any political plans right now. I mean, I just got to the state legislature. I'm still getting my feet wet. Learning a lot in the past couple months, though, in the long session. But what we really need is just more Republicans. We actually have a lot of great people in the state legislature, a lot of very smart people who want to move our state in the right direction and know how to do it. It's just volume. We need more of them. We are in the super minority by 1 seat. Hopefully we can pick up some seats this next election cycle. I appreciate what you're doing to change hearts and minds in Oregon. We're one of the lowest population states that's still light blue. It wouldn't take a lot of Republicans moving to the state to make it conservative, or at least a swing state.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to move toward, and we need to do that by drawing a contrast between us and the Democrats.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, man, I appreciate your time, and keep up the good fight. Let me know what I could do for you. We'll keep chipping away at this, man. I will keep trying to win hearts and minds, like you said, one person at a time, one soul at a time. And at the end of the day, I think all of us, Democrats, Republicans, we can all agree, regardless of what our beliefs are, our tribal ideology belief, I think we all just want to see a better Oregon where all families can afford to live here. Parents don't have to worry about kids going to school and getting radicalized, however that looks, left or even like far right. I mean, they cry about a Bible being in school, and yet some of the books that they're pushing on our kids is just incredible. So I think we just all want a better Oregon, man. We just want a better Oregon where we all just actually love each other, get along, regardless of political beliefs, and families can actually flourish here. I think that's what the Republicans want at the end of the day, regardless of what the Democrats say. So thank you so much for being with us, man. How can people find you, by the way, your socials and your website?
Oh, just Alec Scarados, ALEK Scarados. I'll let you guess. But it's I'm on Instagram and Twitter. So if you want to give me a follow there, I'm more political on Twitter. But yeah, look, thanks again for having me, though. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Speaking of a war hero, we got Alec Scarados joining us. Appreciate your time, man. Thank you for what you've done for the country and what you're continuing to do for the state. Hey, thanks for watching, you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and follow me at Dave Medina PDX across all social media. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.